So roughly a week ago, DC Comics released an official special issue called The Harley Quinn Fartacular Silent But Deadly #1, implying more issues to come, God help us. It's a bunch of fart puns, this comic reeks. In this issue, farts. The whole thing is just generally designed to be nauseous to look at, and the most evil part of this comic is what's in the fine print. The thing that makes it unique, it feels like they're almost trying to hide. Like, you're not about to just see jokes about farts in here. There are artificial rub and smell farts in the pages. There was no way I was gonna buy this thing in paper so I could just scratch it off and sniff it and tell you how bad it smells. But what I do have is DC Universe's online comic reader, so we're going through that. Funny enough, the person to fart first in this entire comic isn't even Harley Quinn. Poison Ivy's telling her to take care of plants. Be gentle, a little goes a long way. And as she bends over, I've never seen the Patu automatopoeia for a fart before. The way that it's drawn as a silhouette and the only thing that's a different color is the background in the fart cloud gas, they made it gross even in grayscale, which is a talent. I'll be honest, I've never been embarrassed into silence over farting around people. Like, it's usually a very quick, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Or yeah, I just did that, what's it to you? But these are very over the top and disparate reactions for what, at the end of the day, is just like a tiny little poot. So Harley Quinn apparently finds it endearing and says it smells like roses. If flowers smell like shit, I'm glad that I have a terrible sense of smell. The thing is, one fart was enough to set her off on a tirade. She's not that weirded out by the fart, and I feel like most reasonable people aren't. Like, there are certain times and places where it's not ideal to do, like at a funeral, but you can't always control it. Thing is, she's immediately saying, fart again, I want to dig into your asshole. They get into an argument over it. Harley's trying to say that she's genuine and thought the fart was actually awesome for real. She says, I'll fart too this time, but Poison Ivy's like, stop making fun of me, I'm leaving. Predictably, Harley Quinn is just autistic and didn't understand the signs that were being given off. I guess it's like a small thing I should appreciate, but none of the farts so far have been green, and I guess that makes sense so the contrast works in this scene, but I really wish it could have stayed that way, because when they decide to fully commit to the neon green radioactive fart clouds, it's just so much worse. What precedes is a number of fart-related hijinks, like fart puns and also just random fart conflict. Harley goes on a detour to kill a guy who littered. Unfortunately, during it, she drops her ice cream and tries to save it for the 5-minute rule. And you know, she's 100% down to eat this gruel off the sidewalk, until she realizes the flyer that she used to scoop up the ice cream has something on the other side. The Gotham Museum of Art presents The Art of the Fart, Vivacious Love Letters, Malodorous Medieval Monsters, and Flatulent Fighters. And you got some Asian dudes on the left with their booties out shaking ass. The wind, I imagine, is supposed to represent farting, but it looks like they're sucking air in. I wonder what a pure oxygen douche would feel like. And then we get moved along to the event that I'm forcing you to look at. The passing of gas is often seen as taboo by modern society. I think some of the dumbest embarrassment I've ever felt when farting is when I'm like in a public bathroom and I've been holding in a fart, and so I just fart while I'm peeing. This is objectively the best place to do this, but I end up feeling bad for the guys behind me who are, mind you, literally taking a shit in the stall. I'm of two minds, man. I'll simultaneously own a fart and then feel bad about doing it around strangers. Now, this is something I had to check to see if it was real, because it is ridiculous that they made this deep of a cut if true. They include excerpts from letters written by famous author James Joyce. He wrote Ulysses, Finnegan's Wake, and a bunch of other stuff. And he also wrote love letters to his, quote, dirty little fuckbird. The prize of our collection, James Joyce's love letters to his beloved wife Nora. Joyce was a novelist and one of the world's greatest writers. These love letters show a different side of Joyce, though. More bold, vulgar, and passionate. I think I would know Nora's fart anywhere, he writes. I could pick hers out in a room full of farting women, which I can at least see how someone would perceive that as romantic. I'm just kind of sad we never got to put that to the test, or if it did happen, we'll never know the results. Like, in a room full of farting women, could he actually sniff out which one was his wife? Or was he just talking out his ass the whole time? Just completely full of shit. And then Harley Quinn gets so enamored by this, she goes up to the fart document nose first and starts reading it off more. Big fat fellows, long windy ones, quick little merry cracks, and a lot of tiny naughty little farts. Inside the spiritual love I have for you, there is also a wild beast-like craving for every inch of your body, for every shameful part of it, for every odor and act of it. In my head, that reads more like someone who's really into their partner's pheromones. We give off light versions of those. It's normal to like the scent or the musk of the man you're with. Harley decides that for some reason she just needs to get her hands on these letters to give to Poison Ivy. She thinks they communicate how she was trying to say she feels about Ivy's farts. Harley Quinn crawls through a bull's mouth and hides inside it until nighttime comes. Then she busts out of the bull's asshole in order to steal the letters. She gets the letters and she's about to leave until suspiciously fart-colored words are on screen. Clump, clump, clump. And then a random woman comes out of nowhere to tell her that the letters are cursed. This lady is Dutch and says she's very blunt. Like weed. Then, incredible twist. This is actually Nora, James Joyce's wife, the real-life guy's wife. You're currently looking at the dirty little fuckbird. Man, I just made all those jokes and realized I misread the speech bubble. My husband was a Joyce scholar. This dude is the closest thing you can be to a Stan account when you're elderly. He loved the letters, brought them to his wife, and now she has permanent fart magic. She needs the letters in order to undo the curse from them. She can't let Harley leave with them, so she preps something? Words the color of sewage saying gurgle. And then she takes a rocket shit. It just hits Harley Quinn in the liver. Solar plexus knockout. And then they show me one of my least favorite upskirt shots of all time. I think I want to die. Because this lady has a permanent aerosol can in her leg and shoots fireballs out of her asshole. Harley Quinn wins through a second asshole joke. Then actually she loses and the Dutch lady takes off with it. Without the letter, she doesn't know how to explain the fart stuff herself. She goes to Ivy anyways and they're like fighting Batman, I guess. I can't believe you're making such a big deal. It's a little toot. Men do it all the time. Batman's all, I don't care what you do with your bodies. But Harley needs this. She's desperate. She really needs Ivy in her life because she can physically feel it killing her in her chest, apparently. The thing is, more times than not, when you just have random chest pains you weren't sure about, they are gas pains. And it means later in the day you will have to fart. Harley gets this. And then she just rips a Hiroshima and completely annihilates Petey Piranha. Like, just kills this motherfucker, dude. Is it too late to make a joke about power scaling farts? So Harley's convinced that the letters really were cursed, and so she thinks she needs them to undo it so she can be with her love once more. Thing is, whenever she's about to sneak up on the lady, she's undone by the curse. I don't know how to explain it. The automatopoeia brap is like ruined for me. I had a friend once who had that as like just one of their repeated jokes. It was very shitpost and ironic. That person did not do me nice, I'll tell you that much. Apparently the Dutch lady makes fondue with her fire farts, which is not something I needed to know. Harley Quinn tries to sneak up on her in the middle of the night and then is given away by farting in her face, and apparently the lady can taste it, and it's gas that's coming from the fondue that the lady made earlier with her fire farts. Dude, you can't be mad that you were eating that shit. Okay, it just kind of scales from here. She farts so bad she turns the room into a biohazard, and her first solution to fixing this issue is just stapling her butthole closed, and it just doesn't work. Her gas is too powerful, and she sets the building on fire. If you didn't give me context for this, I would be hoping to God that she was covering the restaurant in fear toxin. She manages to stop it, but knocks a wine bottle over and knocks herself in the head, and finds James Joyce sniffing directly in her butthole. The actual fucking guy. Did they have to ask the estate for permission to do this? Did someone have to give permission to this? And they did? Why does Harley Quinn look exactly like the main bitch from Has-Been Hotel? Like, there's just so much wrong here, and it's an entire page spread of Harley Quinn in different fart-related scenarios, all concocted by James Joyce in the name of farting more, dude. I fucking can't. I can't. You can't make this shit up. So Harley takes a last-ditch effort in order to stop her farting problem by recruiting Plastic Man. If you don't know, Plastic Man is like Mr. Fantastic. Stretch, as Harley Quinn calls him, has no idea what he's here though for. So Harley farts to demonstrate. She goes into way too much detail, just says a lot of different names for farts, and asks Plastic Man to help out. And helping out means him acting as a bodysuit. And Plastic Man is being certain to spend the most time on Harley's ass. Where the farts come from? And the solution they came up with here is whenever Harley farts, it stays in the suit and she gets fatter. What the fuck, man? I'm not making this up. You can look at the screen and know that I'm telling the truth right now. Like, they literally skipped to a few panels later, and she's gotten larger, implying that she's farted more. I want y'all to remember there is a non-zero amount of shit particulate in any fart that you take. From this panel to the next one, she's even bigger as she's about to climb up the ladder. Plastic Man's being resourceful and using the stored up methane as propulsion. The thing is, the way it's drawn makes it look like flying shit, like really unhealthy diarrhea just flying out of Harley Quinn's nether regions. I hate how this was illustrated. Harley Quinn's about to successfully sneak up on the Dutch lady until Plastic Man farts, his first one. And then Harley finds out the Dutch lady's had no luck finding a cure. It doesn't work. So she flies away with fart-propelled liftoff. So Harley Quinn has Plastic Man slingshot to catch her, bring her back down to Earth, and then gives her a pep talk on why actually the curse that your husband left you with by bringing those cursed and fucked up evil letters that give you fart superpowers, those are actually a good thing. thing, and also it's worth living because Plastic Man is now super into farts apparently. Harley Quinn apologizes to Poison Ivy, says, "I'm sorry I didn't take your feelings about farting seriously," and then when they're having a nice moment to end it off, Harley Quinn farts again. That's right, she is still technically cursed, so they call up Zatanna to help out, but then Harley is devastated to find out that she's actually not cursed at all. She's lactose intolerant. It's a fine enough punchline at the end of the thing, man, but why the fuck does this exist? Like, I have a hard time believing this was a mandate from on high that this comic needed to get made. And if it was, I don't know what kind of market sensibilities any of the execs over at Warner Bros. Have. Oh my god, dude. That's all I got. I really just wanted to talk about this. That kwytebox email is in the description if you want to send me video topics. Anyways, piss off.